Yeah, I was just listening to the album. The internet is fake.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I've been seeing you tweet just like the internet is fake and like different stuff about the internet. But I actually literally just realized that that's what your album is called.
Oh.
So the whole time I'm thinking you're going down some like conspiracy rabbit holes, like
nah.
The internet is fake, but
technically,
your album.
Yeah, the album is a rabbit hole of rabbit holes.
What do you mean? I guess we can start there. What do you mean by the internet is fake?
I mean, I'm really more so talking about the internet and how we engage with it, right? So like one of the records is called Wi-Fi Real. So it's like the internet is fake, but the Wi-Fi real. Like the internet as a thing is real. Obviously, we all have Wi-Fi. Like we're able to tap into the World Wide Web. It exists. Mm-hmm. But the internet as we know it and the things that we engage with on the internet on a regular basis is fake, like in a sense of inauthentic. And it becomes more and more inauthentic by the day as people become incentivized by all sorts of different things. One, gaining attention. Two, if they have some sort of motive, like they're trying to build a brand or build a business or gain attention for any particular thing or another, or if they're just trolling, or, there's so many different motivations that people have to do any and everything to gain attention, to where it doesn't matter to them anymore whether or not they're being themselves or saying things that are truthful or anything. And that's not even counting bots and artificial intelligence and all of the other
I think they say like there's a theory. Actually, look this up, Karen. There's something called the dead internet theory.
The dead
you seen
internet
that?
theory.
Where it's like 90%. I think it was like some high percentage of everything you see online is actually by like a bot.
Right.
It's not even a real person saying so.
And I don't know if I believe that percentage is, but I definitely
think it's a high percentage.
I believe there's a high percentage of things that people that we engage with that are not actual people. And if they are, they're not the people that they present themselves to be. So, if you get on Twitter, like half the motherfuckers don't even got real
pictures.
You know what I'm saying? They got characters.
Twitter for sure, because I know when Elon bought Twitter, it was like I think he was like 60 or 70%. It was just like the bot profiles. That goes into, there's foreign governments that try to influence what we think and what we do in America.
Right.
There's people here that are trying to do that. And also, I agree. There is a lot of fake stuff on the internet. There's a lot of inauthenticity. But I guess on the contrary, I would say the internet, I would say there are real people on the internet
for sure,
being
100%.
themselves, saying their real thoughts. Like, it's like I never understood when people are like, yo, I just said this on the internet. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's just the internet. But like, what is the internet? If we're discounting the bots and stuff, all that stuff, that's obviously fake. But it's a bunch of real humans on these platforms that are saying what they think. Mm-hmm. That's real to me. Like, if I say something on the internet, if I say fuck this person on the internet, it's the same thing if I said it in real life.
That's true.
If they see me and they confront me about that, I can't be mad.
We're all speaking in percentages, though. So if I say, like, it's fake, it's more so to bring attention for those that think that they're engaged. Because even the humans, there's a good solid % of the humans in the way they are interacting.
They're trolling or not being themselves.
They're trolling and not being themselves. Or even the presentation of themselves is not the full presentation of themselves. Even myself, I'm going to show you what I want you to see.
Trying to curate what
you know what I'm saying? It's a curate. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not showing you anything that's inauthentic, but I'm showing you only what I want you to see. Therefore, if you decide, so someone else may add on an illusion to that to fill in what they believe to know about me. Right? Like, that's just natural human behavior. It's to really be like, look, even the things that you see, even the people that are presenting themselves most authentically are still not presenting their entire selves to you. So still you cannot take everything for face value and say, this is what I know. This is this person. You can say, this is what I know of this person. But you can't say, I know this person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really just kind of the album has layers of just trying to point out all sorts of different elements of our like how the internet impacts us, what we're consuming, how much of that is not authentic.
I don't even think we really still understand the impact of the internet's having on us. We probably won't understand for another like 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what it's really doing to us, especially like children. You see even adults get sucked into these different, what do they call it? It's like a social contagion where like an idea will like pop up like in society, and they'll like be on the internet, and they'll make it seem like everybody else is believing this thing.
Right.
And now it's like that kind of convinces you that like, well, if everybody else is believing it, then it must be true. Now that's how that thing, like, it's like a contagion. Like ideas can just spread like that, like a virus.
100%. We were watching, my wife and I were watching, I wonder if it was on Netflix. This is like the web.
What I tell you to pull up? Yeah, let me see. Let me read that real quick.
Let me see if I can find this.
While bro finds this. I need to maybe move this light a sec. Hold up.
And the other thing is like, it's called Web of Make-Believe.
Web of Make-Believe. Let's get to that. So dead internet theory is a conspiracy theory that asserts due to coordinated and intentional effort, the internet now consists... Move it to the right a little bit, bro.
Mainly of bot activity.
Mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content. But so why are they saying it's a conspiracy theory?
By algorithmic curation.
Yeah. It's weird that, I guess, I mean, they're calling it a conspiracy theory, so I don't mean...
It is.
I guess I don't know how we'd prove that, I guess.
I don't think... I think that... I think that's an exaggerated... Oh, my bad.
No, you good.
I think that's an exaggerated...
Number
of, perception of what absolutely exists.
So what were you and your wife talking about?
We were watching something on Netflix called Web of Make-Believe. It's almost like the same thing. The internet is fake. Web of Make-Believe.
Okay.
Death lies in the internet. And so another thing that I talk about in the album is that although I'm saying the internet is fake, all of the things that occur and what we're consuming have real consequences. So there's real life consequences to the fake internet, right? So it's like, we watched one of the stories on here, one of the episodes, and it was like a whole phenomenon that I didn't even know truly existed. Have you ever heard of swatting?
Yes, when people will like call the SWAT on somebody. A lot of streamers get swatted. So like their fans or somebody will call the SWAT, or they'll call the police and say like somebody's being held hostage in there, and then the SWAT team will show up, but nothing was really happening.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know that was that
happens to a lot of streamers like Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat and all them.
It happens to them too?
Yeah, that's where actually I heard of it like happening to people.
Yo, that's crazy. Because they said it like it started out with gamers. Gamers were doing it to each other, and like, so it's telling this story about like how these two, this one guy, he's like a serial swatter, but he also is a gamer, and then he was like, he had a beef with this other gamer over a $1.50 Call of Duty bet.
So he swatted him.
And he baited him. The dude baited him to swat him. And he's like, yo, swat me. This is my address. I dare you, da-da-da-da. And so, like, the dude did it, but he had given him his old address. So he sent them to, like, this other family, just this random family's house. And one of the SWAT cops, he was like a trigger-happy dude. He's like a problematic cop, and ended up shooting this guy on his porch, shooting him dead.
For no reason.
For no reason. Like, these people didn't have any clue why the police were at the house.
Well, that's definitely illegal. So the guy, if you swat somebody for like a joke, you're going to jail too. You can't just do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the dude ended up, that was his second time. He had already been in jail for like 2 years prior.
For swatting.
That's crazy. Then now he has got like 20 years because this guy, he got murdered, and the cop ended up getting off clean. Even though he had a history, and like they tried to make a big, a lot of publicity about it, but
nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
Yeah, I know that's illegal. Even just doxing people is legal. Like, you're not allowed to put somebody's address on the internet.
Right.
That's illegal. Yeah, it's a lot of, also, even on like the legality, there's a lot of laws that haven't really caught up to like where technology is right now.
Right.
Even like, right now, a big one in America is the freedom of speech. In person, we have freedom of speech, but then online, you'll see certain people getting censored or canceled for saying certain things. Now the question is like, is the internet the technological version of the public square where you should be able to say anything, or should these companies be allowed to censor, or like, because they're private companies,
right?
So should they be allowed to censor what's happening on their platform? So that's like a debate right now,
right?
And a lot of companies are now leaning towards the free speech. Like, Twitter is obviously, since Elon bought it. Mark Zuckerberg came out. He kind of changed his tune after he got caught pretty much helping the Democrats in the previous election where they censored the laptop story, the Hunter Biden laptop story. So they were kind of on the censoring side, but now he's more on like the freedom of speech side.
There was a whole another thing about that too. Like, there's the
laptop.
The second episode was about. Oh man, I wish I could remember it. It's this guy. He got killed, in D.C. He was like, he worked for the Democrats, but like on like some campaign stuff, and so like. Basically, he got ran. I ended up falling asleep on the episode, so I don't know if they ended up solving his murder or not. But his murder, they thought, was originally like he was being robbed and he just got killed. He just happened to be like wrong place, wrong time type of thing. But then like the Russians got involved and like they like made it out to be like the story, and Fox News guys got involved and they made it out to be like he was like submitting Hillary Clinton like emails to like WikiLeaks or something, and that's why, and the Democrats had him killed or something like that. Like that's the conspiracy that they started to spread, and like it was crazy. Like, I'm just like, yo, like these conspiracy theories that happen on the internet are not just like somebody's wild hair out their ass. Like, they didn't just make, like, a lot of the stuff is like
based in truth or planted.
It's planted by higher ups with agendas. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they just use different.
Well, the tricky part is it's hard to know what to believe because there are real conspiracies.
Right.
So conspiracies is obviously when people conspire together to have a goal, and it's like they're hiding it from the public. Then the CIA invented the term conspiracy theory to shut down theories,
things that were
really happening. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing is, like, now conspiracy theories are conspiracies. There are some conspiracy theories that are conspiracies, right? Like, you can have a conspiracy theory about how a conspiracy theory originated. You feel me? Like, if I believe a conspiracy theory that is on the internet came from an intentional space, like somebody conspired for us to believe this, which we know happens. This is propaganda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I believe that this is propaganda, that is the conspiracy. I believe.
Everything,
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
everything's propaganda.
I
I really realized
that too.
And this like election that just happened, I really realized that our own government is subjecting us to propaganda just like foreign governments are.
100%.
That's right and left.
Right.
Everything is propaganda.
100%.
And what is propaganda is really just marketing. It's what is your messaging? What do you want people to perceive about your ideas? And how do you want people to perceive the other side?
I talk about that a lot on the album too. We all have our TV shows. Like, right now, this is a show, right? But this is curated to be a show. But every Twitter account, every Instagram account, every Facebook account is becoming its own propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just.
Well, that's the new medium. That's the new medium to get your messaging to the public.
But everybody
nobody's watching
didn't
Fox
have
like
a
that.
message before. Everybody didn't have objectives before. Everybody didn't have motives before. Before, it was, I'm here to just shoot the shit. Or I'm here to just.
You're saying people online.
Right. Just regular people. I'm here to just meet somebody, or I'm here to keep up with my friends. I'm here to keep up with my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what social media was for. It's now because everybody is, you could go viral, and I mean, I could be famous, or I can push my business. I'm so attention hungry, and I know that that's possible if I can just manipulate myself a little bit. If I exploit myself a little bit, I can get. So it's like people are trying all sorts of different things. There's good things about that, and there's bad things about that. You know what I'm saying? But the more I feel like people do things based off of incentive, especially attention or money, that's when people corrupt themselves.
Attention is one hell of a drug.
Attention is the new money. Attention is the first bars of the albums. Attention is the new money. Attention is the new drug. So nowadays, fiends buy the drugs with the drugs. I need a shot of dopamine. So here's a shot of dopamine. It's hard to kick the habit when the access is so convenient. Phone is the crack pipe. Internet the crack house. Trolls running around like zombies for engagement. This is like, and then you add the addictive element to it, and it's real nasty. It gets like every day it gets nastier. And
then you see I forgot which documentary it was. I think it's also on Netflix, but how they actually make these platforms and how they really want them to be addictive. Like, they model them off of casino slots. Like, even how the slide down to refresh. That's a slot.
That's one of
a slot machine.
That's one of the album song titles on the album is content slot machines.
See, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet.
I really meant to hit you like before I got here. Like, yo, try to get that album.
So we're talking about the album. We're talking about the internet being fake, conspiracy theories. So when I first found out about you, I didn't even know you made music. So I found out about you of being the founder and the host of Southpaw Battle Coalition, which is a battle rap league based out of Richmond. And I went to a battle there. I went to who was the guy that Era battled last time? Not Preem, but the one before Preem. That's the one I was at. I forgot bro name.
Was it when he battled Deontay, or when? No, that was a while ago.
It was it was his battle before Preem, and which also, while we're on that, did he lose the battle against Preem?
Yeah.
That's what I figured, because he took down the promo off his page, because we did a promo for that. Shout out to Eric, though. He going crazy. He got a new song out right now in the video.
Yeah, shout out to Eric.
But I went to that battle, whoever he battled at that time, I forgot who it was now. And I was like pleasantly surprised at like how well put together these battles were.
Right.
Like, from the venue, it looked nice in there, to like the sound quality, to like how you hosted it, like how everything flowed. I was like, because not trying to hate, but I didn't know anything about it. So I'm like, this is about to be some like, it might be some like janky battle just kind of thrown together. But I was like, yo, this is a fire ass league that I think is like doing it the right way.
No, I appreciate that. We're very unique in the sense that one of the thing that makes us most unique, I believe, in battle rap is the fact that, you know, all of our battles are judged. There's winners and losers, there's rankings, there's champions.
Is that not how other leagues do it?
There are no other leagues that have a structure that consistently does that. There's leagues that have had tournaments and champions at the end of those tournaments and defended belts. So like KOTD, they have like defended championships and stuff, like, or I think it started out as was it a chain? And then they did a tournament and had a belt. But
is that like the KOTD? That's like a mainstream league?
King of the Dot there in Canada.
Okay. Canada has the biggest battle rap league.
No, URL is the biggest.
Okay.
Smack URL is the biggest. But they've had tournaments, not with champions, but tournaments with winners. And those are the only times pretty much that battles are judged. Outside of that, battles aren't generally judged. They're left to the public to decide who the winner is.
Just the people that are in the crowd.
In the crowd, or then once it's released online, and the people who watch it on
Oh, I guess
YouTube.
so. They actually don't announce a winner per se.
Never
They just
announce.
talked about amongst people, like
Yep.
who they think is winning.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the standard in battle rap.
So I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah. So for us, because we do this, it also makes it uncomfortable for a lot of people that are
For the rappers themselves.
For the rappers themselves. A lot of people don't generally want to be a part of a judge battle. You know what I'm saying? Because it officially decides whether they win or lose. See, many battle rappers just walk around saying they're undefeated.
Everybody's
as long
saying
as
they
the
won.
battle's relatively debatable, they're gonna say they won.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Because their homies are gonna say they won, because that's how that goes. You know, if the homies came with them, they like, yeah, you got that joint. 2-1.
That's like fighting. Like both people say they won the fight.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody gets
Unless it's for
smoked.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna be like, yeah, I got him. Like,
That's like
you
the
should
new.
see the other guy.
Who just fought? Maxwell Cream just fought somebody. Y'all see that video? Honestly, they both kind of lost. Like it wasn't that crazy of a fight.
Right.
So like they both walked away saying they won.
Right.
Which I guess they could both say that because nobody like definitively won. So,
Right. Yeah, that's how battle rap is generally. So, you know, a lot of egos. So they like to protect that ego. They like to protect that reputation. So you want their fans to debate it. But when you have a definitive winner loser, and then now with us we have records. So if you've lost 3-4 times, it's on you. It's on your name.
Which one do you think is better for the conversation, for the culture, for like the perception by the public, for there to be a definite winner, or for there to be like up for debate? Because now it can be like
For there to be winners.
Okay.
Because casual fans over the years, one of the biggest gripes, casual watchers of battle rap that come in contact with it, one of the main things that they ask is, who won? Or they ask, well, who's the guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, they want, they use everything else that has competition applied to it has a definitive winner or loser. So they don't understand, oh, what you mean? The public just decides? I get to decide? Oh, okay. That means nobody won then. You know, it's like that, they want that. You know, they want that progression. They want to see that. You know what I'm saying? They want something to follow. Like, people love that. You know what I mean? So I think that I think one of the things that made it, and you know, we didn't always judge our battles when we first started, but when I tell you, from the very first time we started, we established a way to judge the battles, like a scoring system. So we score our battles like boxing rounds, like 10-8 must system. So either it's a 10-9 or 10-8 round. You know, 10-9 if you feel like one person just won the round. If 10-8 if you really felt like he dominated a round. The accumulation of those 3 rounds that's the score. So we offered, like, that was what we were training our audience to do when we first started. We just didn't officially judge our battles. The reason we didn't is because what we do know about it is it's very difficult to establish judges that are non-biased, and that battlers, audiences can trust.
Because they might have like relationships with the battlers or something.
Yeah. So because we knew like our staff was solid, like, you know, like it really started out me and the original owners, me, Bravo, Nicholas F. Like, those were the judges. We judged every battle because it was like, I know that we can trust ourselves to come to a consensus that is non-biased. Doesn't really matter to me. I don't have a dog in the fight. You know, and I tell people that all the time. I have no dog in the fight.
I mean, and even if you have a friendship with a battler, like, he has to respect that. Like, bro, this is the credibility of the show. I can't just like, give you favor if you lost. I'm
a culture person first, right? So for me to do anything that is not integral towards the culture, and that's within a battle or anything else, you know, that muddies the waters for me. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not doing right by the culture, for one. not doing right by the league for 2. Then I'm not doing right by these humans that I respect that put a lot of work in to that. Now, if you feel I got it wrong, that's on you. But I tell you, it won't be because I wanted this one to win or that one to win, right? So as we've gone along, we have other people that are close or that are staff or that are close. Sometimes we've experimented with swapping, judges in and out when people weren't available, and a lot of times that doesn't work so well. So I keep who I have judge battles closely, and if I do feel like one particular person does have an allegiance to one of the battlers involved, then I'll
switch them out.
Yeah, I'll switch them out. But I feel strongly about the decisions that are made, with our battles. And I feel like if you watch a battle and you see a verdict, you may or may not agree with it. But I think there's always a case that you'll make that you can understand where the judging came from. Haven't really had a problem with that. Obviously, battlers may not agree.
What about the audience? Is the audience usually on the side of the judges? Like they usually,
for the most, especially in the building. Especially in the building, I'd say in the building, I've rarely, if ever, gotten a response from the audience that was like,
the judges are wrong.
The judges are crazy. Now on cam, there might be a different story. But at the same time, a lot of times on cam is where you start getting people's friends and, people that are biased. And then 2, cam judging and live judging is 2 different things. Because you have an opportunity to like really sit and digest what's being, you're not, like what you feel in the building and what you feel watching on YouTube is 2 totally different things in itself. And then having to come up with that judging right at the end of a round, as opposed to like, I could rewind and listen to that again, or I can pause it, I can sit. Like that's 2 different styles. That if I could sit and analyze these rounds, I might have a different opinion. I've watched battles back and been like, I probably would have gave him that round.
I guess that initial energy that the crowd gets
right
in the moment, right when they say it, you're not really gonna feel that on the internet.
Right. It's just a different feel. Like that bar might have hit you differently standing there, especially depending where you're standing. Like I'm on the stage, you know what I'm saying? Like you're watching at home in the comfort of your house. You stopped it, you paused it, you went back like, I really like that. Or he said this, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to really analyze what's happening as opposed to like making it on the fly. I'm condensing these 2 rounds, his round. At the end of that, I got to make a split decision, like right there. So,
has there been ties?
There have. I want to say maybe only 1 draw. You can have a draw. It just doesn't happen very frequently. I think what has to happen. Well, the thing is, there's 3 judges, so it's like the likelihood of that is slim, but it's possible. Like, because I mean, if say for instance, you win 10-9 on all the judges' scorecards, round 1 and round 2, you win 10-9. Then the 3rd round, the guy beats the shit out of you for that round, and it's a 10-8 round. If everybody scored that the same, it's a draw.
Okay, so you guys have this different standard of judging it. There's definitive winners. I guess, when did you start this? How long has Southpaw Battle Coalition been a thing? So are you and Nick, and the third person, I forgot what you said his name was. Robert. Are you guys the co-founders? So you guys founded it together? Yes,
we're all co-founders, yeah. I'm the only one that runs it now, like actively.
I think I saw Nick. I think Nick was at one of the battles because we had him on the show after that. I don't know if you seen me and Nicholas F episode. We had him up there too.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know he was like one of the co-founders.
Yeah.
When did this thing start?
2016.
Okay. So almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. It started from a battle that I had with Bravo. It was my first battle in this era of battling, like this style of battling that's like you pre-prepare, you know, like I had battles way back in the day that just were impromptu battles. Sometimes they could be freestyle, or you just got what you got and you rap because that's what we did. If you rap back then, you battled. It wasn't like
everybody battled. That was like,
everybody
that was
battled. Like it could happen at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like if we
Really, I
were
don't
here
even
and
think you could
another
be
rapper was here, and
I don't think you could be considered like a rapper if you're not really out here winning battles.
right. That's what it was. Like, you know, we ciphered. So that's another thing. So there's RBA Rap Elite. I'm not sure how familiar you are with that.
I feel like I've heard of it. Is that so? This is where your first battle was?
No. So RBA Rap Elite is like the brother sister platform to Southpaw. I'll get into that in a second. But just to give you the origin on Southpaw, we did this event called Legends Never Die. It was just a battle with me versus Bravo, and it was promoted probably for like almost a year.
Is this the first battle at Southpaw, or was this at a different league?
It was a different league at the time. He was the owner of a league called League of Champions.
Who?
In Richmond, Bravo.
Okay.
He was a co-owner of a league called League of Champions. And I used to attend their events, and I was just like, yo, I want to battle one time. And I want to battle, and here's where the thing comes in about who's the guy, right? Because when I'm going to the events, and once I decide I want to battle, I'm like, whoever I battle needs to be the guy. Like, who's the head and shoulders guy above everybody else in this league? Like,
but also, what makes you think you should just go against the top guy on your first battle?
It's like understanding who I am to the hip hop community as an MC, right? Like, as an MC, I know where I rank among MCs as a lyricist, right? And my respect from the hip hop side, from the music side as a lyricist, and people knowing me from previous to this era of battle rap as a battler, right? Like, for me, if it's gonna be one and done, it has to be the best. It has to be the best person. I'm not gonna battle against somebody that I felt like if I was just gonna walk over them and then be like, oh yeah, I battled once and I walked over this guy.
Oh, so originally you just wanted to do one battle.
One battle.
Just to say kind of you did it. Like,
just to say I did it. Yeah. So it was like, if I'm gonna do that, it needs to be somebody that in that world, at least in Richmond, is respected on that level.
Who did it end up being?
Well, so I went to this one of the particular events, I guess, once I had already decided in my mind that this is what I was going to do, because I was already going to their events. And I'm like, I'm seeing different people. I'm like, yo, he's dope, whatever. But there wasn't a definitive person. But Bravo owned it. And I respected Bravo as a lyricist anyway, and I knew he was a battle MC back in the day. I knew he had a very super pivotal battle in the city against Moon that kind of sparked the movement that started League of Champions, right? So I knew he's respected in that realm, but he's also respected on the music side. Like, he had did a long bid in prison, and he came out, and he immediately came out with mad respect, as an MC. So I'm like, okay, I see him say something like, oh, yo, I'm trying to battle. I'm gonna come back and battle somebody, but who wants to battle me? And I'm watching, and nobody's speaking up. And I was like, oh. And I know people are going to say that they weren't, but I'm like, oh, maybe they're scared of him.
Bravo.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because if Vince McMahon steps out and he's but he's also a real, if Vince McMahon was also a real wrestler too, you know what I'm saying? And it's yo, who's going to battle me? We know this is a marquee battle. Why would nobody step up? And I'm like, you the one then. And now that's my guy. We're cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, but you're the one though. So I end up telling him, you're the one. You're the guy. And he's like, me? And I'm like, yeah, you the guy. And he's like, at first it's like more like, yo, I don't know, yo. I don't know if I want to battle.
He didn't want to battle you at
first. He didn't want to
first?
battle me because it's like, yo, you know, we got respect for each other, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yes, but you're the one. And he agreed, and then he ended up like reneging, and then he was like saying he was moving to Pennsylvania for a minute, which he did. And anyway, to make a long story short, there ended up being this whole thing about trying to get this battle back on course after he
Went to Pennsylvania.
went to Pennsylvania and said he didn't want to battle me anymore and this, that, and the other. And it was all this big thing. We had other people involved, and there was a lot of back and forth on the internet about it. And then it got put back together. And it took like, because he was away, it took like maybe like 9-10 months.
And this is why you said y'all were promoting it for like a year.
Yeah. Okay. And a lot of trolling each other, a lot of like.
Did y'all still remain cool throughout this, or did this actually affect you guys' real like friendship?
I don't feel like during the promotion we were cool. Like I feel like not that we disliked each other, but it was definitely like, I ain't gonna say even tense. It was just more like, I'm really trying to rib you, you're really trying to rib me. There's a competitive element there that is palpable between us and that the people are feeling, right? So like everybody's kind of like bought into this at this point. So by the time the battle happens, this card, we didn't even have an undercard. It was just me and Bravo, and we had Nick performing a set, and that was the bill. And we ended up throwing like 2 battles on, but we never promoted them. So like they ended up being like 2 introductory battles that occurred that night. Mm-hmm. But we never promoted them. So everyone that came there really came there to see me and Bravo. And it was like 400 people. And it's still a classic. So that battle, by August, it will be 10 years from that battle.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, and
who won that one? Was there a definitive winner for that one?
We didn't have a judge, but I won the battle. But,
okay.
But you know,
yeah.
Harken back to the original conversation about that. But no, we didn't have any judge. But it was a great battle, classic battle. It's like, I feel I won the battle. That's the consensus. But
so you do this battle. It's supposed to be just your one and only battle. Mm-hmm. How does that lead to you wanting to start your own league?
I didn't at first. At first, I wanted to help LOC. One of the reasons I did that battle was because I felt like...
Is that it? What's this? Oh, It's a Radio B versus Bravo. Yeah. Okay.
Originally, I just wanted to help that league. And because one of the things I noticed when going to those events is a lot of the people... Like, I knew nobody in the hip-hop community knew about the battle rap community in Richmond.
The hip-hop community in America, or the one from Richmond? The hip-hop community
in Richmond.
Didn't know about the battle rap.
Did not know about the battle rap community in Richmond. And when I would go to the battle rap events, only a handful of people there knew me. So that told me that the battle rap community isn't tapped in to the Richmond hip-hop community on a certain level.
Which is kind of weird because I guess it's all hip-hop.
Right.
It's like these different worlds in hip-hop.
And I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I was like mind blown by that. Like there was very rarely a room of rappers in Richmond I could walk into and not 90% of the people didn't know who I was. So to be in a room full of rappers, like these are rappers, like lyrical rappers. And that was the other thing. It's like, these are lyricists. I'm like, yo, this is kind of wild. So I was like, this can't be. So I started sending like people that I knew that did like media coverage and blogs from on the hip hop side. I started being like, yo, you got to start covering these events. There's no reason why, these guys are going unnoticed like this. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do that battle was because of that. I'm like, I know that I can bridge the gap between
the two worlds.
So that was kind of the goal. And then also that was another reason why I was like, yo, it should be Bravo, because I knew he kind of bridged the gaps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew like Mad Skillz definitely like was a big champion of his, of his music and the things he was doing at the time.
Did he battle too?
Mad Skillz? Mad Skillz is like a battle rapper from that previous era.
Oh, well, I didn't know he was a battler. Okay.
But not in this.
In the era that started in 2016 that you're talking about.
Yeah, or, this type of battle rap started before 2016. In Richmond, I say Southpaw started 2016. Battle rap in Richmond, as far as when I say these different eras, I mean the eras of scheduled battles. Like, this person is going to battle this person on this date, a cappella, 3 rounds.
Was Bravo's League the first one that was doing that in Richmond?
There was a derivative of Bravo's League that pre-existed, and then prior to that, there was a league called Supreme Rap League in Richmond that predated Bravo's League. So for years, this had been going on in Richmond, right? And surrounding. But even more so on the URL and Grind Time and King of the Dot, like, this has been going on. So the type of battlers, I would say that myself, even Nicholas F., he had 106 in Park fame. He did Hall of Fame in 106 in Park.
Is he, not to derail the story too much, but is Nicholas F. and who was the white rapper that Can Rock was telling us about that won like Battle Rap of the Year, I think? Big K. Are Nicholas F. and Big K the biggest battle rappers that came out of this area? And Av? Which Av? Just Av? Okay.
Yeah, Av. I would say...
Do you know who Big K is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's... Bravo and Big K had friendship and history.
Did they ever battle?
Huh? Nah.
Okay.
So
it's these two worlds. You're going to these events. You notice that the hip hop community isn't really
so once Legends happened,
vice versa.
I'm like, all right, now let's build on the momentum that Legends is. Like, there's a lot more eyes on Richmond battle rap. Let me see if I can help, like, convert that. And it just didn't. People involved at the top of that league just didn't. I don't know if they couldn't see my involvement as for what it was. Like, maybe they thought I wanted more than I wanted. I didn't want anything.
What do you mean by that?
In a sense of, like, did I want to, like, take over or meddle in their business? I don't know. Like, I'm more like, there were some battlers that I was homies with that I kind of was like, I ain't gonna say managing, but I was supporting. I was coming to their events. You know what I'm saying? I was coming to their battles. I was there. I was in their corner. Like, we let them, we had them repping AGM. My man Breeze the Poet, Chill Amala. Like, they battled in LOC. So I used to support them. But then I was really just more so around like, yo, how can I help? Everybody didn't see it that way. For me, on the battle rap side, I had made a statement to figure, I was like, yo, after that battle that I put on, everyone's going to want to battle me.
Yeah.
I know this, right? And I was like, so here's what I'll say. I'm like, I'm never battling again. The only way I'll ever battle again
on your own league
against JC, which is like one of my favorite battle rappers from like the URL, like the big leagues. You know what I'm saying?
But from Richmond?
No, he's not from Richmond. Okay. Like, not from here at all. He's from Pontiac, Michigan. So I'm like, this is something that will never happen. That way no one ever will have to, like, I'll never have to battle. Because I could just say something. Because in my mind, like, I wasn't in the battle rap community. So in my mind, that's impossible. Like, I don't even know how you would arrange such a thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking you would have to make it to URL to battle somebody like that, right? Not knowing that, people just know each other. And, like, if you just book this guy, you offer him whatever he wants to, You know what I'm saying? Whatever he wants, he'll come battle wherever you ask him to come battle, right?
So you battle with JC.
It ended up being that way
Okay.
because Bravo tried to make it happen. He's like, yo, I can make it happen. And I'm like, he's like, I can reach out to some people. We try to put the money together and see if I'm like, well, shit. I mean, if you can make it happen, I'm with it. I'll do it on LOC, whatever. And I think like the other folks that were part owners there didn't want to have that type of investment put for me to be battling that type of person on their league. And it became a thing, as well as I'm sure other things. And Bravo ended up splitting from that league. And when he split, I'm like, dang, I can't, guys don't want my help. I'm trying to like help battle rap push along in Richmond. You know what I'm saying? So me and Nick, we were talking about it. And I'm like, man, yo, if Bravo free, as other thing is like, I ain't want to start no league because I ain't want to be responsible for it. And then two, I also didn't feel like I had the understanding of like the networks that needed to be to like book cards and book battlers and all of that. So with Bravo being free, me and Nick having like this vested interest at this point, it was just like, yo, we could come together and do something. And that's how Southpaw came about. And the first card, I battled JC.
Under this
under Southpaw.
Under your own league.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so who ended
Nick
up paying him, I
battled,
guess?
Nick
y'all
came
three?
out of retirement and had a 1-rounder against Danger Zone.
Okay.
Who is from Maryland, I think. Another URL battler.
Was that one judged with you and JC?
Nah. See, that's what I'm saying. Southpaw, we didn't start out with judging. And then Bravo rematched Moon, which that was like a historic battle. Their first battle was historic in Richmond. So he rematched Moon on that card, and then we had a dope undercard as well. But like, and we did that at the Broadberry.
Also, why do you think these two worlds are so separate? And you can even see that on the mainstream level. Like you have hip hop, you have first of all, you have mainstream hip hop, you have underground hip hop. Even those two worlds are kind of different.
Right.
Then you have battle rap over here, and it's like its own lane. And it seems like you rarely ever see just hip hop artists even mingling with battle rap artists. You don't really see them out together. You don't see them like really talking about each other. Why are these worlds so separate, you think?
I'll say it happened early 2000s, late 90s, where there was this thing where like there was this stigma around battle rappers that battle rappers couldn't make songs. So even the MCs that could make songs or MCs that could battle that were artists would separate themselves from battling. Even I did it. Even Nick did it. It's like, oh, yo, like you wouldn't be taken seriously as an artist if you battle rap because the stigma was that battle rappers can't make songs. So you wouldn't want that stigma connected to you. So battle rap, as it became more...
Got more commercial success?
No, I won't even say commercial success. I would, because I would say maybe that happened more recently. But as battle rap kind of began to organize itself, right? There became these larger leagues like URL, like Grind Time, like King of the Dot, like where like, yo, we're producing battle rap and we're generating our own stars within this battle rap world and our audiences. As it became its own identity, it kind of zeroed in on what it was doing. And then you had hip hop just being mainstream hip hop and doing what it does. You know what I mean? Completely just not connected to it. Every now and then you would have these intersections where, like, I remember when Loaded Lux came back and battled Calico, which is like one of the
Is that the one where he was like, he was wearing the suit and he's going to get this work?
Yeah, that was like, that's like one of the more like, and I remember that to me, that was actually where I kind of like, because I would know people, like even my nephew, he used to send me battles, like URL battles and stuff like that. And I'd be like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And when I think back to that time period for me, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Because I always was like this scrappy, like I was a battler, you know what I mean? Like I was outside. Like I would look for any opportunity to battle people. And I was always a competitive lyrical MC. But for some reason, that early on, like battle world just was not, I think maybe it's just because we had conditioned ourselves to turn that off in ourselves. Like we're focusing on trying to, because back then it was all about getting a deal. It was all about like,
that's what I was gonna say.
You know what I'm saying?
I
it was
guess
like,
in my mind it was like battle rap, like the success you have as a commercial just artist is above having success in the battle rap
right.
world.
So it's like if I want to be taken seriously as a professional, I can't do this anymore. And you kind of like, we kind of made those decisions internally. And for us, because we so love this, I feel like it had to be a switch. Like you had to like, you know what I mean? Like if you didn't hit the switch, you'd always entertain that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you hit the switch and you focused on what you was focused on. And it was like, I guess that fell in the same bucket as professional wrestling for me. You know, like before I got into rapping and became like, got into like my 20s, like professional wrestling was like my whole life. You know, like that was like my first love from like 2 to like 19. That was like
watching it.
Yeah, watching it, knowing everything about it, being immersed in it. I feel like I kind of, at some point when, I'll say like when WWE bought WCW and shit kind of got whacked, I just sat it over here and looked this way and just didn't deal with it. And I feel like I kind of put battle rap in that same space.
It is a similar thing. It could be a similar thing. What I think battle rap can learn from wrestling and how they do their businesses is how they create characters and stories. That's how you introduce a character to the people and you build a story around them, and you know you have heels and you have the good guys, and it's like I don't know if they're really that great at doing that in battle rap.
No, because there are real people attached to it, and you don't also, because you can't control the outcomes. So in WWE, if they want,
they're controlling every piece of it.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing, you know what I mean?
It's much harder to craft a story around, and the matches. It's much harder, I guess, to craft a story around someone's real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether they're putting on an act or not. You know what I mean? It's still their decision making. It's still their how they're going to show up with their raps, because you ain't writing their raps either. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I don't know like how the average like hip hop fan looks at it today, but I remember when I was coming up, I'm 29. So when I was coming up, I was listening to music, but I was also consuming battle rap.
Right.
We're watching Cassidy battles. We're watching Cassidy freestyles. I'm watching just random battles. Like my favorite battle of all time is Reed Dollaz versus Trigger. You seen that one?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen that. I always felt like Trigger was whack, but just Reed Dollaz on that was crazy to me. So,
and you know, it's like even like the ends of the Smack DVDs, you know what I'm saying? So like that's where,
but we were watching
that's
both,
where that form of battle rap and like those Philly tapes and stuff like that, those were the originating pieces. Like, you know, the original Murder Mook versus Loaded Lux, you know, the Jay Mills and Murder Mook, you know what I mean? Like these battles like kind of like are what started that era of battle rap that you see today. You know what I'm saying? And like then you have like in the West Coast they have the Grind Time, and in Toronto they have King of the Dot. And then so like the Disaster versus Cannabis battle. Like that's another place where like the worlds kind of intersected, and that didn't go well for cannabis at all. But you know what I mean? Like,
I do think there is something that these battle rap leagues can do to create more of a story around these battles. Because I mean, right now, you have face-offs and then you have the battle. That's kind of it. That's really the promotion for it. And I mean, I'm more of a casual viewer, so I'm not too hip on all the intricacies, and I'm sure there's a bunch of cool stuff that's happened over the years since I haven't been tuned in. But my first excitement that I got in battle rap in a while was the Hitman Holla versus Cassidy battle. That face off, that just reminded me of just back in the day, just really talking shit, get under someone's skin.
Right.
The energy was just crazy surrounding that. And then after that battle happened, there was a bunch of videos that came out, which I tried to find them earlier. I don't know if they took them off YouTube, but I couldn't find them. But there was a bunch of videos that came out of Cassidy having meetings at this round table with Reed Dollaz was there. It was a bunch of battle rappers, and they were talking about the future of battle rap, starting this new league, doing all this new stuff, and making battle rap bigger than it's ever been. And nothing happened with it. Did you see these videos around that time?
Yes. And for people that were in the battle rap community, it was you could look at that and you knew that nothing was coming of that.
Why?
Because
you've seen this story before?
You've seen the story before. And there's certain things about how, I can't even remember how they were framing it up, but it was just certain things about it was just you're not invested. You're looking for investment from talent more so than you are investing in whatever it is that you're doing for the talent to be platformed. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember what the stipulates, how they were engaging the public with this, but however that was, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I just can't rember
it wasn't that
details.
Professional. It was just kind of sitting around, you're bullshit, talking shit about it.
But they started putting out stuff they were garnering, trying to garner. I don't know if they were saying you had to pay into it or nothing. I don't want to put any extra shit
I want to say it was something
about
a 100K challenge or 100K.
Yeah, it was some weird thing, right? And it was just
so you knew nothing was going to happen from that.
Yeah, and it didn't. You know what I mean?
It got me excited at the time. Okay, it's about to be a new chapter in battle rap.
Yeah, nah. It takes a lot to run a battle rap league. It takes a lot of dedication. I don't care if it's a small league. I don't care if it's a big league. If it's a big league, it takes a lot. Because now what you're trying to do, basically, you can't create a big league in battle rap without using big names. Now, to get big names, there's a ticket on that.
You gotta pay them.
And you gotta pay them, but also majority of the big names, especially at that particular time, are tied to URL. And URL has contracts on these guys.
So they're not even allowed to go
They're
battle
not really allowed to battle. So there's been a big thing about other leagues that have come around recently that have been pulling URL guys, and some guys breaking their contracts, and it becomes it's difficult. It's always been difficult to try to navigate battle rap around URL.
Until the Saudi guys get involved and they buy out everything. In golf,
but they just
pay everybody way more money.
But the thing is, with people that come in that have money that aren't of the culture, that also has become a terrible thing for battle rap. We've had these mega cards that have occurred where people come in pour money, but what happens is they find out there's not really a lot of money in it.
Why isn't there money? Because these battles are big events. The big battles, there's probably thousands of people, hundreds of people in these events that are paying tickets. There's sponsors wanting to sponsor it.
The door doesn't end up really paying for everything that they end up having to pay out. The sponsorship money should work, but for some reason, no one that's really had money and invested in battle rap has ever stuck around.
This probably wasn't worth their time.
They'd just be oh, nah.
Do you think do you think that's because battle rap, in general, just will never make money, just how it works? Or is there a better business model that could be applied to it?
I would still like to hope that there's a better business model, but there's a lot of toxicity in battle rap. There's a lot of unprofessionalism in battle rap. From the battlers to league owners to other people to investors, there's always some shit, right? And a lot of people get burned, especially people that invest in it. I've been burned. It's cost me way more money than I've ever made. I'm definitely, when it comes to battle rap, I'm definitely in the red. RVA Rap Elite, okay. Southpaw, red.
What's been the most challenging part of building Southpaw to where it is now?
At different times, different things. I'd say where we at now is way more controlled, but when you're trying to play the game of names and paying people and talent, is whether or not people are going to show up, whether or not people are going to perform at their best if they show up. Those are big elements right there.
That's the things you can't control.
Those are the things you can't control. Yeah. If you're going to actually be able to make the money back off the door, like, can the door substantiate the money that you're spending out? You know? And if not, can you arrange a pay-per-view situation to do that? But it's a risk. Is this battle going to be worth what it is worth, or what I've invested in it today by the time it happens? I've had that, where we book a battle. This is a great battle to book. Things happen with the battlers between the time that you book that battle and the time the battle happens, and now this is not a good battle to book anymore.
It's like never ends up happening.
And then it might not end up happening. But even if it does, like, people are just not interested, so they're not buying tickets.
I think at the end of the day, you just got to figure out how to get more people interested in it, I guess.
For
like
me,
like any other business.
Where I'm at with Southpaw is I'm not, what happens also in battle rap is like a thing of, like, everybody's, like, trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone wants to have the best card with the best names and the best matchups, and it all costs everybody. I'm at a point now where I'm not even paying attention to battle rap at large.
Like what other brands are doing?
What other brands are doing.
Is your goal
not
to have...
URL, not other small leagues, not other big leagues, not anything. But
is your goal to have, like, one of the biggest leagues in the world, or do you like
ultimately,
the underground?
Ultimately, I would like that, but it needs to become something that the community that it's in is invested in and follows and builds and grows, and it continues to grow and grow and extends outward. But I want to sell the stories of the artists within the league. I want to sell the wins and losses, the champions, the rise and the falls of MCs, and, like, the competitive league element. Because I feel like we're the only true league. Like, if you talk about what a league is, like, I feel like we're the only true league in battle rap. So, like, I want to sell that. I want people to buy into that part of it.
Do you guys do you do coverage stories on these artists before they do the battle? Like, maybe an interview with them where they're talking about their life, or you're kind of learning more about this person, like how they got to this battle?
We have not done as much of that. We do elements of that, but not in depth like I want to. So that is part of the plans going forward, is to how can we flesh out everyone's story? How can we promote just beyond just their battles, but their music, the other things that they're doing, whatever endeavors they're doing, so that people are following them as artists? Because my thing is, how can I elevate these artists? You know what I'm saying? How can I elevate them in everything that they're trying to do? Even if a battler is like, ultimately, I want to battle on URL because that's the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I help you with your path there? But I would love for you to still be loyal to you, or be loyal to Southpaw and come back and do things through Southpaw. You know what I'm saying? But like, I want to help you get to wherever you want to go. If battling is just kind of like a side mission for you and music is your thing, like, how can I help you further along in music? How can I incorporate your music into what we're doing with the league? And you know what I mean? Like, so if you're a poet, you know what I mean? How can I help you in that space? You know what I mean? So that's me. Like, for me, my league's very familial. I am very much invested in my guys. Like, I talk to my guys, my whole league every day. You know what I mean? Like, so it's very much a passion culture thing for me before it is a monetary thing for me, which doesn't always benefit me.
Oh, I get that.
You know what I mean?
I get that very much.
But it keeps me integral, and it keeps me in a space of respect among the people I deal with. You know what I mean? And whether that be the battlers, whether it be venues, whether it be anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather be respected for being a stand-up person in the culture that cares about the culture and cares about the people in it and the community that it serves than the person that is the opportunistic guy that is like grifting off.
I feel that same way. And I think when you move like that, just from personal experience, it becomes a lot easier to cope with, I don't want to say failure, but like if you do something and it doesn't get the biggest traction or it doesn't blow up and change the fucking world, you don't regret it because you still did what you felt. You're
under
still
the
like,
right premise, right principles, right?
You can live with it, even if it doesn't do well.
But, and the thing is, I've seen, and it's like, my impact and the impact of these platforms, I can no longer calculate. That in and of itself is the win, right? Like, the relationships that have been built, the if I look
the moments
if I look at the entire community and how it's been impacted over the last, between Southpaw and Rap Elite, the last 9 years, it's immeasurable. It's completely transformed the landscape of Richmond hip hop. So I'm good whether it's put a whole bunch of money in my pocket or not is inconsequential, because it absolutely has not, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, I can really I can document, I can look at all it, like if I look at the landscape and see how many people have been affected, how many relationships are built, how this artist elevated, that artist elevated to wherever they're elevated. I ain't talking about, oh, this person's world famous or nothing, but to know like that artist where they're at, they're like, yo, I was here, I'm here. And that could be from notoriety standpoint, or that can be a skill level standpoint. That could be a developmental standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Because development is a huge part of any platform that I have, whether it's Southpaw or Rap Elite.
Same.
And I think that's different from other like battle leagues. Like, I ain't gonna say that other battle leagues don't develop their own talent, but I'm very like, I try to be very hands-on in the development of talent within these platforms.
I think that's what's slept on in local scenes, but I talk about this all the time. Everybody wants to, if you're coming up, you're like an upcoming artist, everybody wants to make all this money. They want to get booked. They want to go viral overnight and be famous, and they feel like their local scene has nothing to offer them that will get them closer to those goals.
Right.
But that development that your local scene can offer you, that's everything. That's everything.
Completely overlooks that.
Yeah.
And the amount of like detail that we put in to these platforms in order to develop artists, like I could get into Rap Elite and talk about that structure, and that would be like a whole nother episode. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We started out this episode talking about the internet.
Yes.
And I think with where the internet is right now, you have the potential to create new legacy brands very quickly. So
Right.
back in the day before the internet, it might take you 10, 15 years to create a household
Right.
name, household brand, to really change the trajectory of whatever industry or space you're in. But now you can literally start doing things, because and also I think battle rap has a lot that can be evolved in this. There's still a lot of room for growth in battle
Right.
rap as a sport. So you can literally, as Southpaw, whatever level you're at right now, you can create new things and like introduce new things to the battle rap space that can be better than what URL or some of these legacy brands are doing.
Right.
And you can literally pass them up in like a year or two.
Right.
By doing the right things and introducing like new things to the people. That's one thing I like about the internet.
Yeah.
That like there isn't really any like
Gatekeeping.
there isn't really gatekeeping.
Right.
It's really capitalism at its finest. Like whatever is the best will like thrive in the marketplace.
No, I agree. And it just takes thoughtful and well curated approaches, right? And unique approaches. But it also has to be appealing. You know what I'm saying? And like that's the thing that we're always looking for, you know, and like for me, I think I spread myself kind of thin with all the things that I do. So sometimes it doesn't allow me to like all the way hone in and being I ain't gonna say the one-man band. Not a one-man band because I have help, but one-man
The
band.
band members be busy sometimes.
The band members,
They be busy a lot of times.
the band members are like soldiers a lot of times, like currently,
you
where
gotta
it's
tell
like,
them what the mission is.
it's like, yo, can you help me with this, do this, that, and the other, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's not, or like, yo, I got this person I can call for this, or this person I can call for that, as opposed to like,
Them taking initiative.
yeah, as opposed to like, this is what everybody wakes up on their mind.
I get it.
This is the mission. Like, this
It's
is
not
how
number one priority for everybody in the,
right.
even
You
for
know?
yourself sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's
right.
what's
So
going
then
on.
it ends up
Yeah.
me swap. Okay, so now I gotta jump over here, and so for me, it's like, how can I find harmony in all of the things that I do so that one pays off the other? You know what I'm saying? And that's not always so seamless. You know what I'm saying? Like when I have to focus on Radio B, the artist, other things kind of don't get as much attention, or Radio B, the artist, doesn't get. So for years, Radio B, the artist, didn't get the attention that he needed to get because it's Rap Elite, it's Southpaw. Rap Elite, you know, that's a monthly event.
And Southpaw is what now? Is that not monthly?
No, Southpaw sat down for a few years. And the other thing with Southpaw is like, it might be like every 2 to 3 months type of thing.
Wait, so is Rap Elite still going on?
This year is the first break Rap Elite's ever taken.
Okay.
So we're taking a break just this particular calendar year. But 7 years prior, Rap Elite's been month to month to month to month to month.
Okay, so you're talking about bands. Speaking of bands, I know you've been rehearsing. This is kind of my last question. You've been rehearsing with a live band. You're going to be doing a show, I think Friday, April 4th. Where's the show at? It's a
Reveille.
Reveille. That's in Richmond?
Yeah.
And I know you're doing a show and you're doing a live recording of your album. The internet is fake.
Yeah.
So that's your upcoming show there. I don't know if you want to touch a bit on that. Maybe tell people where they can get tickets for that, and if you have the next like show or the next battle at Southpaw, when is that? How can people get in touch with what's happening at Southpaw?
Yes. So Reveille, we have about. When is this coming out?
This will be out. What's today? This will be out on Tuesday.
Reveille, we got about 19 tickets left. You can get them at reveilleexperiences.com if they are still available.
If you're listening to this right now on the day it drops, I believe it's going to be before the 4th. What's Tuesday's date?
Yeah, it'll be a few days.
That's the
before.
first or second? So you got a couple days to grab those tickets though.
Yeah, so grab those. It's going to be amazing. The band's gonna sound incredible. We're gonna have performances from all the featured acts from the album. So Nicholas F's gonna be doing a beat set. You'll get like a performance from Michael Millions.
Bro, I was so hyped when I did a pod with Nick.
Huh?
Nicholas F. I was really hyped to do that episode.
Yeah.
I hope he enjoyed it. I think he did. It was a fun episode for me.
Yeah,
because I was listening to him in middle school. Like when like the Drake shit first came out.
Right.
Like I was like in middle school listening to that shit.
Yeah, that's my brother, man. Like super legend, super underground king.
Humble guy, really good dude.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a bunch of great performances on the 4th. Live album. I'll have double CDs for Internet is Fake and Stop Looking for Noise. They will be dropping at that event. We'll also have some some collector's item posters that are being done. And Southpaw. We actually
Is the next battle already set up?
Yes, it was supposed to be April 26th, but it's now it's being moved. We had some issues with the venue. Hold on one second. I believe it's May 11th.
Also, while you're looking that up, you never know. Battle rap might become the center of hip hop once again. I feel like things revolve, it like goes in a circle. Like I feel like right now, at least locally, and from what I understand, this is happening in other scenes, not just ours, but DJs are kind of the most prominent members of the scenes now, not the rapper. It's kind of getting back to that original essence of hip hop.
Right.
So I can see battle rap circling back around and people, like more people being interested in battle rap.
It just has to be formed in a way that's digestible for them.
But I think the reason just like commercial hip hop will take a backseat to battle rap is because more and more of these hip hop artists that are coming out today aren't actually good rappers.
Oh,
they're punching
100%.
in. They're
Right.
not like they can't spit a freestyle to save their life. So like I think the audience will get a hunger for like seeing people actually rap really good and like be great lyricists again. And that's where battle rap would just come in.
And just to not even get into a rabbit hole, I think that battle rap was earning that type of popularity. And I don't want to be a slight towards URL, but battle rap was in a great discovery phase. And during that time, what happened was YouTube, which is where most battle rap lived, they stopped paying out the money for ads on content for battle rap or a lot of like stuff that had vulgar language, really for no reason that had anything to do with battle rap. It had to do with there were terrorists that were putting content on YouTube and shit. And
Actual terrorists.
Like actual terrorists.
Okay.
And once these companies found out that their ads were getting put on this type of content, they all pulled back from YouTube. Like, yo, you gotta get some censorship on your shit.
And it became a lot more strict.
And they became a lot more strict. So it's like if you had content where you're cursing and stuff like that, they wouldn't put ads on your stuff.
I think for right now, cursing is not really a big deal.
It's not. They cut it back. I think they've drawn back from it.
Yeah, because we're monetized on YouTube, and I think it's pretty much as long as you don't curse in like the first 30 seconds.
Right.
It's like some short time.
Right.
You're good. We curse all throughout the episodes. We're smoking, and we have ads on them.
Right. So we do too now. But I think what happened was the amount of money that they were paying out to like URL during that time, it got cut super substantially. And URL made a move and they're like, yo, we're not putting our content up on YouTube no more. And they created an app.
Oh, so the discovery part of it got stunted because people weren't finding it on, like new fans couldn't find it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like all of it is behind this paywall on this app. So
is that how it is right now too?
Still is.
Okay.
Now every now and then they'll put a popular battle on YouTube.
They might put like some
way after
clips
the
up or
fact.
something. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that definitely super stunted, I feel like, the growth of battle rap in in a time where it hit a stride. Because during that time also, caffeine ended up putting a lot of money into URL, and they were doing free events that they streamed on URL's behalf. You know what I'm saying? And they spent a lot of money, but I guess it wasn't worth the amount. I guess they stopped. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They tried it.
You know, they tried it. It just, so it makes you wonder, like, what makes it not worth it? Like, what makes it not?
I think it's probably because there's so few big names in battle rap. And they probably either don't want to or don't know how to take the time to create new stars. That's really hard to do. So I don't know if battle rap currently has enough stars in it to like take it to the next level.
Yeah, that's a layered conversation as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit of shooting.
Like if there was 100
there's
guys,
a little bit of shooting themselves in the foot.
Like if there was like 50
that.
guys that you can put their name on a flyer and a million people are going to tune in, it'd probably be a lot easier.
Right.
But it's probably only like 5 or less. Right?
Maybe 10.
10.
But right. But you could curate more stars if you invested and you have the foresight to see who could be
creating stars, and I think it needs a better business model. And the reason I keep saying a different business model is because something really changed my perspective. And sometimes things change my perspective, and I don't even understand like really the depths of what it changed in that moment. Like it'll hit me later. Right. But I watched this McDonald's documentary. I kind of went on this in a recent episode, so I won't go through the whole thing. But basically in the beginning, McDonald's didn't make money like that because their business model was they'll go to these different towns and they'll find somebody that they want to run their franchise there, and they'll let that person go buy the land, create the building, start selling shit, and they'll take a cut. But they were doing that business model and not making a lot of money. Then the guy, he meets this real estate guy, and he's like, you're looking at this wrong. You need a new business model. So now the new business model was they'll go to the town, find somebody they want to run the franchise, and instead of them buying it, McDonald's will buy the land themselves and build the building.
I watched that. I watched that.
You watched that. So they made all their money off real estate.
Right.
That was the new business model, and that's what made them like all their money. So it's like that just like blew my mind. Kind of. It's like, so sometimes you could be doing something, and you could have a game winning strategy, but it's like one thing you got to tweak in it, and it'll like take it like to a whole different place. Because
there's probably there's some of that is the security of the funding, as opposed to like, it's like, okay, like the difference between like securing sponsors as opposed to like relying on money coming in the door off of ticket sales. You know what I'm saying? Like, or how to leverage these different things. Like, there's so many probably different elements of how you go about it. Now, mind you, battle rap's been living off sponsors for a long time. The question is, do the sponsors end up benefiting from the money that they spend? And that I don't know if I don't say. So I mean, you got to know. You got to know the demographic. You got to. You're not gonna sponsor a fucking. I don't know, like a fucking. I don't know I can't even think of something like a product that battle rap fans would never use. It's like, why would you even get this sponsor? Right. So I think it has to make sense. Okay. When is this next battle? The next one is
supposed to be April 26th, but it got changed.
It's May 17th.
Okay.
It's at Center.
Is that the place that the air battle was at?
No, it's a different spot. I'll shoot you the address.
Richmond, though?
Yes, in Richmond. It's on Broad Street.
Do we have the card?
Yes. Rock Raw versus Wansky. Wansky's from...
That's who Era battled when I came. He battled Wansky.
Yes. So Rock Raw is our... So we have two champions. We have our world champion, which is Rossetti. We have Rock Raw, which is our River City champion. If you watch wrestling, it's like the difference between like the world title and the intercontinental title.
Okay.
So like Rock Raw is our River City champion. He'll be defending against Wansky. Wansky's the only undefeated MC still.
In the whole Southpaw League. Yeah. All time.
I mean, as currently. Let's say currently. He's like, I think 4-0.
Okay.
And then we have Preem versus Sun. And that's a number one contender bout. The winner of that battle will have the ability to challenge for either the River City title or the world title, whichever they choose. We have Trey Authentic versus Era Hardaway.
Era back.
Yeah, so Era's back against Trey Authentic.
I wasn't sure if you mentioned earlier, because I really fuck with Era Hardaway.
Yeah.
I've done a few episodes with him over the years, but he has fire music, but I know he kind of went down the battle rap thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if
he's outside, man.
I wasn't sure if you were referring to him if battle rap's a side mission for him. Like he really wants to do music.
I think he wants to do music.
Yeah.
But I do think that he is very serious about his battle rap endeavors, right? Like he is one of the few on our roster currently that is going to like other leagues and like.
But also, I think he's pretty fresh to it. Like he hasn't been battling that long, from what I see. And like you guys are putting him in the ring with people who have been doing this for like a long time.
Yeah,
like
and
his first battles,
and he's battling regularly. You know, very
his
regularly.
first battles coming into the game was with like veterans, from what I noticed. I think Preem been doing it for like a long time, right?
Preem is definitely his most like
hardest competitor.
Yeah, his hardest competitor for sure. Yeah, for sure. Then we got Introverse versus King Cam. We got Chef Token versus Minute Maid Michi. And we have Gerald Golden versus 10 for Short. The card is called How to Squabble.
May 17th.
May 17th, How to Squabble.
Come on. I love
Center.
it. Radio B, thank you very much. Anything else you want to touch on? Anything else you want to lead the people with?
No, internet is fake on all digital platforms. That's it, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you for having me. It's dope.
Of course. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. All Bros links will be in the description. Check out the album. Check out Southpaw Battle Coalition. We'll put all those links in the description. Yeah, see you guys soon.